When I see some people in there already waiting, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. Just over a couple of minutes. If you're in the chat room right now, do me a favor. Help spread the word. Help spread the word. Tell people that I am live right now. If you go to my Twitter account, Facebook account, Instagram account, share the post letting people know that the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream is happening right now. I don't even know if it hurts for me to start early. Yes, the thumbs up are already happening. 7 in. Iggy T. What up, Iggy? T-Bone. T-Bone. Dude, T-Bone, I cannot thank you enough for you consistently showing up huge. Got 12 people in. If you're in here right now, like I said, share it. Charger. Yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you, Sketchy Press. And I'm not busting your balls. I don't want you to think that I'm ungrateful. So if you watched last night's Hi, Mr. Mercedes. If you were watching last night's show, you know that I did an unboxing on the computer that Sketchy Press. What up, Jason Martin? Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. Like I said, if you're in the chat room right now, give me a thumbs up. That helps me. Look, I know it's kind of corny, but you got to play the game. It's actually about to start raining here. I am in a little, I don't know what you would call it, like clubhouse, and it's a tin roof, so you might be able to hear it raining. My phone is actually over in the corner, so that is what I'm using for my hotspot. I hope that it is not going to get wet, but welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream. Had a great podcast today. Don't know if any of you guys ended up listening to it yet. I don't want to sound... after you told me, I went back to my desk and the charger was laying right there. Yeah, Sketchy Press sent me the computer and he forgot the charger. I thought there might be some type of charge on the computer just to turn it on, just to see the all the bells and whistles that you added with the Adobe suite. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it at all. So I think Sketchy Press was teasing the tip. He sent me a computer that was fully loaded, top of the line. Got about 12 gigabytes worth of RAM in it. It's got the Adobe suite in it, which, by the way, if it has Adobe Edition on it, the podcast is going to go to the next level because I will be able to multi-track. I will be able to do everything. The show is going to sound impeccable once I get done with it. See, yeah, it is raining. I don't know if you can hear it. Hold on. Let me see if you can hear it on the roof. See, with this mic screen on, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Come on, let's get some people in here tonight. Let's have a fun time because I'm going to talk about some stuff. I'm going to talk about, because it's funny. Yeah, it is about to pour here. Jesus Christ. Here, hold on. Let me take the mic screen off and see if you guys can hear. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear? Can you hear? See, people always wonder why I'm using the mic screen. This is how it sounds when I don't have the mic screen on. So, you know, I'm kind of popping my peas a little bit. With the mic screen on, it does not pop my peas. If I'm just being honest, yeah, the mic screen does help. It does help a lot. It really, really does. You know, this here, hold on. I'll show you guys real quick, okay? If you guys are techies, I'll show you what I'm working with, okay? Now, And if you guys are Bubba the Love Sponge fans, you see the microphones that they use. They are directional microphones, which this is a directional microphone. I'm going to take the mic screen off again and I'm going to show you. Hold on. See, this is the microphone that I use. It is a mini version of the microphones that Bubba the Love Sponge uses. And it's very, very sensitive. As you can hear, the voice sounds a little bit different. You can hear the difference. Now, when I put the mic screen on, it sounds so much better. So for all the people that want to talk about, oh, you're using a furry mic. No, listen. For the longest time, guys, Cornelian Orleans. Cornelian Orleans, I got to tell you, buddy, thank you for joining me. I think that you guys, or I think you found out about me from Miss YQS. And I want to thank you for checking out the content, giving me a chance. Like I said, Jack Enrod. What up, Jack Enrod? Hey, Jack Enrod. I got a contact for Jessica Reyes. And I'm going to reach out to her. See, but you also got to understand she is a big-time spokesperson now for a big car dealership in the Orlando area. So I don't know. I don't know if she's going to be allowed to be able to come on to my show. Doodle. Man, Doodle. I see. You know what? I am going to have to do something special for Miss YQS. Because she has turned on people more ways than one to my show. Oh, see, that's the Florida weather for you. It just stopped all of a sudden. No, Miss YQS, I'm just joking. But yeah, no, you have turned on a lot of people onto my show. And in other ways, Miss YQS, you got to admit that you probably do turn on a lot of guys. I'm just saying. Oh, dude. Jesus Christ. She is like the extreme sports person getting out there. That's why she gets hurt all the time. Mountain biking and doing all that stuff. Oh, I'm sure she'll have to self-censor. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. See, I've talked about this. I've had a lot of guests cancel on me as of late. Now, see, that's the thing about it. You guys have listened to a lot of the interviews that I've done, and you got to admit that I'm actually very, very respectful for the most part. There is only one interview that I've done that went sideways, and it was with a very powerful person that my producer, Vulture, would not even allow me to be able to use the interview. I know we used to talk about bench pressing small states like Delaware. What up, Anthony? Speaking of bench pressing, I ended up, you guys know that I've been working out, okay? I have been using, until you get angry, I have been using a 20-pound weight. I've been doing high reps. I just a couple of days ago ended up upgrading to a 30-pound weight, and I've been working out, and I can already see a difference. And listen, I'm not trying to show off, but I got to tell you, the triceps are looking pretty good right now. What I'm trying to say. Not trying to show off. Well, I'm kind of trying to show off to Miss YQS a little bit. But what I'm trying to say is, I jumped up 10 pounds on the I bought two 30-pound dumbbells. I bought two 30-pound dumbbells, and I bought a 30-pound kettlebell to be able to work out with. And I got to tell you, I have been sore as hell. You know, I played a lot of baseball throughout my life. Played a lot of college. I really didn't play much college baseball because I really was not a big time thrower. If you're not throwing in the upper 80s, Bluegill McGillicuddy. I mean, that is some royalty in the chat room right now with Bluegill McGillicuddy. I wouldn't say I'm getting swole. I'm getting some abs, but I mean, the arms are getting a little bit bigger. The forearms, I've always had good forearms because in baseball, you want to have good forearms. It gives you bad speed, helps you with your curveball, but I don't want to get too big. I don't want to get too big at all because have you ever seen these guys? Have you ever seen these guys that are just like over the top, like muscle bodybuilders? You can put a piece of tape in the middle of their back, and guess what those fuckers cannot do? They cannot even, they can't even tear the piece of tape off of their back. They can't. Yeah, with bird legs as well too. And I do leg days. I mean, I don't do squats with weights, but I do a lot of squats. Like every other day, I do about 200 squats. And listen, I don't want you guys to think like I am in the best shape in the world. You guys, I got to understand that I did a lot of damage to my body from all the alcohol, all the drugs, every single substance that I would do. Well, here, I mean, look, left is always not as big, but I mean, the left arm is a little bit weaker. I'm not a lefty, I was a righty, but I would like to. Matter of fact, I don't know if any of you guys are around here right now in my area, but I want to find a place. I want to get warmed up really nice, get loose, stretch up, and I want to see how hard I can throw now. Now that I've put on some muscle and I'm still flexible. See, a lot of you guys here, answer me this question. If any of you guys are baseball fans, tell me any great legendary Hall of Fame pitcher that was jacked. Because there isn't any. Because when you're a pitcher in baseball, you want to be like a rubber band. You want to have muscle, but you want to have flexibility. Look at Randy Johnson. I mean, I'm not saying Randy Johnson was not strong, but Randy Johnson, tall, lanky, and like a rubber band, and the guy was intimidating. The guy had the best mullet in all the sports. Yeah, you want to be lean. You want to be lean as a pitcher. But I want to find a place that has a radar gun. Does any of you guys know? Because I'm making money off of this podcast, but I have that money allotted to other things that I want to do with it. But I want to find a radar gun. I want to see what I can throw. Give me 10 pitches. Let me stretch. Randy Johnson is the man. I mean, the biggest man of all time, though, is Nolan Ryan. The Ryan Express. 7 no-hitters in his life. I think he threw his 7th no-hitter in his low 40s, maybe mid 40s. He threw a 7th no-hitter. Oh yeah, Cornelia Oriens. That might have been one of the most impressive fucking things that I have ever seen in baseball. When that pigeon flew in between him and the catcher, and when Randy Johnson's fastball hit that bird, it just exploded. Like there was nothing left of that pigeon. The only thing I can say is at least it was a quick death. Oh, dude, Nolan threw the hands. I talked about this the other day. No matter how much, I don't care. Like Robin Ventura could have had the greatest career of his life, and he would have never ever lived down getting beat down by a 40-year-old man. Like seriously, like Robin Ventura could have broken the single season all time home run record or career home run record. He would have always been remembered as the guy that got the shit beat out of him by a 40-year-old man. You know what? I was gonna save this topic for tomorrow's podcast, but I kind of want to tease it today because I have one of okay. So sports is all about statistics, especially baseball. What record? Because records are always meant to be broken, but I have one record in mind in all of professional sports that'll never be broken ever again. And I would like to see if you guys can guess which one I have in mind. And if you don't want to leave anything here in the chat room, you can email me tuddle@gmail.com or leave me a voicemail 407-270-3044. Because records are always meant to be broken. Everybody thought, oh, nobody will beat the 100-yard dash in the Olympics. And Usain Bolt just absolutely destroyed that one. But I would like to see if you guys know the record that I think that will never ever be broken. The 200 wins in NASCAR, no. You know what? I'm not taking away anything from Richard Petty. I'm not taking anything away from Richard Petty, but those 200 wins, those are bullshit because they counted every single one of his wins in all of the series. So if you're going to do that, then you got to give Kyle Busch all of his wins from the Truck Series. Yes, Cornelian Aurelians, you got it. Ripken streak, Cal Ripken Jr. streak of consecutive games played. I think, now, I'm not going to say never. Not going to say never, but yes, that is the one streak. That is the record that I think will never, ever, ever be broken. This is not going to happen. I mean, like, think about that. Yeah, well, I probably did. God damn it. You got to remember, I've had a lot of head injuries. I most likely will have CTE later on in my career of broadcasting. I shouldn't even call it a career. I don't even know if you can call what I'm doing a career right now. You can call it a career. But yeah, think about that. Sketchy Press, I think the wrench next to your name means that you are a moderator. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask my producer, Vulture, what that means. Because, yeah. That's exactly what it is. Vulture just said. So you are a moderator on the YouTube thing. So, like, if somebody gets out of line and you maybe aren't liking it, you are a moderator. You're a moderator. So what I'm saying is, if you got a little blue wrench next to your name, yeah, you're a moderator. I don't know I don't know what that means. But think about that. Cal Ripken. My streak of 13,564. Oh, never mind. I can't even think. Like the number is so weird. What can anybody tell me the consecutive games that Cal Ripken played? I see. I'm usually good at all of these baseball stats. I know all of them, and I cannot think off the top of my head how many consecutive games that Cal Ripken played. And I know that I know that I know that baseball is not a big physical sport, but you got to remember baseball plays 162 games a year. And you can't tell me just picking up some type of a nagging injury. You know, you can't tell me that Ripken did not play hurt sometimes. 2,632 games over more than 16 years. Think about that. That's pretty impressive. Isn't Brett Favre the Iron Man of the NFL? I really do think Brett Favre holds the record. Yeah, it stood for 56 years. Jesus Christ. And you got to think about it. When Lou Gehrig was doing that, they didn't have all the medical record or medical advancements and stuff. Really, is YQS really flipping tractor tires because she is? That's a little intimidating. If you're in the chat room right now, can you guys please give me a thumbs up? Give me a thumbs up. I know, like, it sounds like I'm begging and stuff like that, but it does help out with the algorithms. It does. Don't give me the okay. T-Bone, God damn it, T-Bone. I don't need the thumbs up emoji. I need the thumbs up. Hit the little like button below the screen. Help me, Alex. I mean, your 6 thumbs up, that doesn't count. It doesn't count unless you hit that like button. Oh, somebody coming by in their Cummins diesel. Do not hit my dad's F-150, please. It's been really, really weird day here. So tomorrow, I am. So I want to ask you guys. I'm gonna get Tom Delaney. Stop with the F this F that type stuff. Like, I appreciate Tom Delaney being in the chat room all the time, but you know what? I mean, you don't have to be so negative all the time. I know you are, Alex. But tomorrow, my mom and dad are getting their second of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Now, here in the state of Florida, they just lowered the age to 40 and up. And I just turned 40, so lucky, cross my fingers, I just turned 40. And I'm going to get my first shot tomorrow. What do you mean, Vulture? No, the only problem they had was a sore arm, but there are some other people here at the Hobo Fish Camp that have actually the second shot put him down pretty hard. What's 4-1? What do you mean 4-1? Is that what my record is? 4-1? No, I just turned 40, so I just made it. To be able to get the COVID-19 shot. So I'm going to get my first one tomorrow. And I know a lot of you guys are really like, oh, Tuddle, you're a pussy. You're a pussy. Why are you scared of COVID? It's just the flu. Oh, Miss YQS is a moderator now. So yeah, I'm gonna go get the shot. No, I do not think that I need it. I really don't think that I need it. I really, really do not think that I need it. But I'm gonna get it anyways. I don't want to be. Did you guys see the guy that got the Johnson and Johnson shot? The dude's skin fell off of his body. What the fuck is that about? See, that will be my luck. I'll get the Moderna shot and like I'll grow a dick out of my forehead maybe. I don't know. Some people might think having a dick growing out of your forehead might be, something good. I guess when you're down there eating at the Y, if you get what I'm saying. Man, well, I mean, who knows? My luck, my luck, it would be the dick on my forehead would be way bigger than the one that I'm actually supposed to use. But who knows? So yeah, taking my mom and dad to get their second shot. But from what I'm reading, that actually the sicker you get from the second shot, the better you are protected because it shows that your immune system is actually adjusting and getting ready to fight it. So I know a lot of you guys all probably think COVID is like a conspiracy theory type thing. Who knows? You know, it just came out today that our governor, Ron DeSantis, which I think, and I don't know how much you guys know about Ron DeSantis, the governor of the state of Florida. I never thought in a million years that a governor would come along that would make me actually miss Rick Scott. And Rick Scott is a scumbag. But Ron DeSantis, see, Ron DeSantis has just been letting it eat here in the state of Florida. And the spring break stuff going on down in Miami, those are all out of towners. So they're going to come down here. And then when they get done with spring break, they're going to go back home. Then they're going to spread it around to all over the place. Do you guys realize that the area of the Midwest, like Montana, Wyoming, they really did not get much of the COVID until Sturgis. When they had Sturgis, that is when the Midwest ended up getting that big spike of the COVID. Look, I just can't wait for this all to be done. I really can't. I've talked about this on the podcast a couple of days ago. You guys know that where my bread and butter is doing man on the street stuff, getting out there, reporting, getting out there and asking people the questions. You guys know that I am not afraid at all to talk to anybody. I will ask any question. I absolutely, matter of fact, I get turned on in awkward situations. I kind of do. I just do. I mean, if you guys listen to Bubble Love Sponge, just think back to when I covered the Casey Anthony case, the trial. I've talked about this. These reporters in these small markets or local markets, that old adage of, oh, you got a face for radio. I mean, listen, I've been seeing some of the people that they've been putting on TV, and I'm not saying I am some like Adonis or anything like that, but none of these reporters ask follow-up questions. They get out there, they'll ask a question, and they'll just take it for what it is. Because these people, they'll answer a question without answering a question. And you know what I would do? I'd be like, listen, buddy, you just did not answer a goddamn thing that I just asked you. So I'm going to ask you the same question again. LOL, I've got a face for radio for sure. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, here locally, WOFL, Fox 35, WKMG Channel 6, WFTV Channel 9, Channel 2, WESH. I remember Cheney or whatever his name was flipping you. Yeah. See, not a lot of people. Okay, so before I started my live stream tonight, I talked to reporter Steve Barrett. Steve Barrett has retired from news. He worked with WFTV Channel 9. That was the first time that I met him. Not a lot of people realize that famous picture of Cheney Mason flipping the bird after Casey Anthony got off for murdering her daughter. That was directed at me. It was directed at me. He actually wrote about me in his book. He did. He didn't name me. He called me some media jackal. And the only reason that, oh yeah, Martha Sagowski. But you want me to be honest? You want me to know, want me to tell you how I know that he was talking about me when he said media jackal? Because he didn't want to mention me by name, but one of the questions that he mentions in the book was, and let me backtrack. I'll set it up, okay? So the first couple of days, they were answering my questions. They were. And then they started giving me the silent treatment. And I warned them. I said, if you're not going to answer my questions, I'm going to ask you the most ridiculous shit that I can. And the one question that Cheney Mason mentions when he's talking about the media jackal, you know, Jose Baez, Cheney Mason, and all the paralegals were women. They would walk from the Bank of America building 2 blocks to the courthouse. They all love to bitch about the media treating them unfairly. Well, guess what? You could have easily gotten in your car. You could have drove to the courthouse, could have went into the back door garage, and nobody would have ever seen you. But the one question that Cheney Mason brought up and mentioned in his book relating to a certain media jackal was, because I asked this question, because they had a lot of female paralegals. I asked the female paralegals, I said, hey, are you guys worried that you're going to spend so much time with Casey Anthony that your menstrual cycles are going to sync up with each other? Oh boy. Holy shit. Because there were all types of cameras around at the time, and Cheney Mason turned around and told me to go fuck myself on TV. And back to the bird shooting thing, I was actually out at the door. Cheney Mason flips me the bird. Now, I don't know if any of you guys know who Jane Velez Mitchell is, but she was out there, interviewing people. She had the camera, and she taps me on the shoulder. She's like, hey, what did Cheney Mason just say to you? Now, take in mind, this is cable TV. It's not like broadcast TV. And I turned around, and she was like, what did Cheney Mason do to you? And I gave the double bird finger into the camera of CNN, and Jane Velez Mitchell acted like I just killed a puppy in front of her. And I was saying the whole time, is like, you're not even on broadcast news. You're not even on broadcast news right now. You are on CNN, which is cable. So it's not like you are going to get fined because I gave you the double bird finger into the camera. Boy, was she hot at me. She was absolutely furious with me when I did that. But Steve Barrett, I talked to him. It was the first time that hot as ankles ever. But Steve Barrett, the first time that I met Steve Barrett was during the Casey Anthony trial. Yeah, headline news. Headline news. Yes, yes, yes. But I think that's a part of CNN, I think. But the first day of the trial, Jose Baez is walking. And see, that's the thing about this, guys. So I learned this after what happened to Steve Barrett. When they're walking and stuff, you'd never want to be in front of those lawyers because they pull this dirty ass trick on you where they will walk into you and they're actually sheriff guards actually guarding them. And they will say, oh, this guy just assaulted me. So when you're interviewing these people walking from the one building to the courthouse, you got to be behind them. Oh, great one, John P. Great one, John P. Great regurgitation of material. See, that's the thing about it. You trolls think that you can say or tell me or just parrot anything that you've heard on the radio and you think that that's going to bother me. No. For real. Does not bother me at all. So please keep regurgitating. Come up with some new material instead of stealing other people's material. But that was, to be honest with you, that was the greatest month of my radio career. I had so much fun doing that. I get up every single morning, be out there early. It was such a media circus. Yeah, it is funny, John P. It is. Hey, Bubba sold a lot of shirts off of the whole mustard mouth gimmick. But I remember, see, I was out in front of the courthouse waiting. Did you see Bubba get? Yeah, I'm going to get to that. I see, I feel bad for Bubba because the guy has been trying to build some online content to build a following. And I think a lot of that has to do with the trolls. It does. It really, really does. But I also don't understand you know what? I'm not going to say what I was just about to say because I don't want to offend. Listen, I'm on good terms right now. I really, really am. There's some people on the show that have opinions about vaccines. And I do agree that we do give young children too many vaccines at an early age. But being a doctor, being a man of science, why I just don't get what your whole anti-vaccine thing is about. I do agree. Oh, Cornelian Orleans. I'm glad that you brought that up because I would have completely passed over that. No. Listen, I'm not saying that Dr. Dan is completely wrong. I agree that a lot of these children are given vaccines that they do not need at a very, very young age. But to just be completely anti vaccine, I don't know if he is. I'm not trying to put words into his mouth. But, if you're just the average everyday listener, you would think that Dr. Dan is completely against vaccines. But Cornelian Orleans, guess what? Guess what? The rat traps have not been catching them. Removed or banned the social media platforms are bullshit. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. But back to the rat thing. Oh, okay. All right. See, listen. All right. So I misspoke. Okay. I misspoke. But let me get to the rat thing. So, guess what? Since the cold weather has gone away, I walk out to go take out the garbage because we have a garbage can outside. There were 2 black snakes. Guess what the 2 black snakes were already in the process of doing when I walked out there? They were eating the rats. There were 2 separate black snakes out there, and they already had half of the rats down their throats. So, for all the people that want to hate snakes, yes, the poisonous ones are bad, but these black racers or black snakes or indigo snakes, whatever you want to call them, they were out there just fucking up the rodents. And I'm like, yes, please, come on in. Come on in. Take care of the problem a la natural. Because those snakes, see, I don't get this. There was a neighbor here that one time called me out of the blue. Hated snakes. He was a guy. Played football at Auburn University. Could not stand snakes. And he's like, hey, can you come down here and kill this snake for me? I get down there, and it's a corn snake. It is a corn snake. Corn snake is not poisonous. It is a constrictor. I was like, you don't want to kill that snake. That snake is actually good for keeping the rodents, insects, bugs, everything away. I talked about this the other night on the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream. Australia is having a plague of mice and rodents and rats, whatever it may be. And I think it's all due to the brush fires that they had at the beginning of 2020. I think a lot of those snakes ended up getting killed. And I talked to Professor Ken. I've had him on the show before. He is from New York. He comes down here every single year. It only takes 3 weeks after a rat or a mouse is born. It only takes 3 weeks for that said rat or mouse to be able to get impregnated or breed. That is how quickly those things can get out of hand. And I really do think that the brush fires in Australia killed off a lot of the snakes, and that is why they are having the rat problems that they're having right now. So I want to get into, actually, before I go, because I've been talking for 45 minutes so far, talking about past fellow broadcasters that I've worked with. I ended up having a great conversation with, Chicago has a lot of rats. It's gross, but guess what? You're also in an urban area right there, and there's not a lot of snakes there. But I talked to Russ Rollins, host of The Monsters in the Morning at Real Radio 104.1, and they did this page of where are they now, of old monsters. that have been on the show, radio personalities. And it got me to thinking, and I have worked with so many broadcasters through my 20 plus year career in radio. And we were trying to think of all the people. We were trying to think of all the people. All right, so here, I'll go down the list of the line of the people that I've worked with so far. See ya, T-Bone. Started out with Ron and Fez. Then I worked with Bo Rhodes and Dave Despain at 93.1 The Crow. Then they decided to flip the formats from alternative rock to country. Guess what they did it? They did it on April Fool's Day. So everybody thought it was an April Fool's joke. Then after that, not a lot of people know this. I don't know if a lot of people know this. I applied for an internship at Real Radio 104.1 in 2000. I got a call back from two of the shows on Real Radio 104.1. One being the Monsters of the Midday at the time, and the Phillips File, hosted by Jim Phillips. I'm not saying I have regrets, but I've always wondered how my career would have turned out if I would have went with the Phillips File instead of the Monsters of the Midday. And listen, I'm not saying anything bad, but we all have those things that happen in our life of, what if we would have done this? Would this have happened? And I always thought about that. For real. I don't even know if any of you guys have even heard of Jim Phillips. One of the most respected broadcasters in the history of Orlando radio. And I've always wondered, what would my radio career have been like if I would have ended up on the Phillips File? I don't think that I would have had the name that I had, and that's no dig against the Phillips File, but Russ gave me a lot of opportunities to go out and do things that got me noticed. Then I ended up going from the Monsters, and this is something that I do not talk about a lot, because I was an intern. You'd be getting ready to take over the Limbaugh show. Yeah. Not a lot of people know this, but I was an intern. My first paying radio gig at iHeartRadio was at, can anybody guess? Can anybody guess? I want to know if anybody can guess. And it was not Real Radio 104.1. But can anybody guess? It's in the same cluster. Got to remember, 7 radio stations are at iHeartRadio Orlando. Can anybody guess? And it is the complete opposite of what Real Radio 104.1 is. I'll give you a few minutes, see if anybody can guess. I gotta hydrate. No, it's not Cal Ripken again. Here, so nobody's going to guess it. I worked for the Dean and Darby morning show at Magic 107.7. They would not even let me have a microphone. Because when you go from Real Radio 104.1 to Magic 107.7, yeah, they're not going to let you talk. They're not going to let you talk at all. And that only lasted for about 9 months, and I was back at Real Radio working part-time. But I had a great time doing that. Dean Muccio and Darby. I still talk to Darby every once in a while. Then I went back to work with the Monsters, worked there part time for a while, and then I got my first full time paying radio gig. Can anybody guess what radio show that was? My first full time paying radio gig where I got insurance, benefits, all that stuff. It was at nights at Real Radio. Come on, this one should be easy, guys. It really should be easy. All right, so if nobody, well, I don't even know. Like the stream could be delayed. Not that. I love it when people. You must be a big Family Guy fan because Family Guy beats the same joke into the ground all the time. No, it was with the Drew Garabo show at night. You know what though? Bud Hedinger was one of the nicest guys that I have ever met. I know you want to call him a blowhard, but Bud Hedinger was a pro. He was a professional. Then, I went back to the Monsters after Drew ended up getting let go. And then we moved to mornings. And that's where I spent there from 2000 to 2010. And then that is when I started my Tampa era. That's when I lied to get my foot in the door and tell them that I was a web guy. Bench press power prowess. See, God damn it. Anyway, so I went to work for Bubba. Worked for Bubba for a while, got fired there, came back, was a producer for the Shannon Burke Show on Radio IO, Bubba Army Radio, got fired there. Then I went to go work that's when I became the producer of Drew Garabo for In Your Face, and then I was the producer for the Spice Show at nights. Then after that, got fired from there because I got into that big blow up with Bubba. I called him a washed up radio hack on the air. And then I ended up getting fired from there. Then got hired on the Mike Calta show. Then went back to the Monsters in the morning. That was one of my shortest gigs, because that was right after my divorce. I was very, very deep, starting out into my alcoholism and my drug addiction. And then after that, been with Bubba ever since. Been on and off, and now I am doing a podcast at a place I call the Hobo Fish Camp. But the reason I bring this up is that I ended up talking to, and if you guys are fans of Real Radio, I talked to Whopper Jr. Whopper Jr. for about 30 minutes today. When I go, don't forget, I'll be back on Bubba's show on April 15th. That'll be my next appearance at the BRN, April 15th. But I am, after I get done with doing that, I'm going to go out to lunch with Justin, Whopper Jr. And you know what really, really makes me feel bad is that this guy is a baller in Tampa when it comes to the craft beer community. Cigar City or Shipyard, one of them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the guy is making bank. I'm glad that he was able to have kids because we did a stunt off at the Hard Rock Live for Miss Monster, and I swear to God, he almost got neutered. I cannot even, my screen is not long enough. His nutsack was stretched that far. And I'm not exaggerating. I wish I could find that picture. He thought it would be a good idea to be on rollerblades and tie a rope around his ball sack and get drug around by that. Damn, I'm done. Got a shower and you are still on. Yep. I'm about to get out of here because I'm getting pretty tired. I look like a goddamn sweaty ass hobo living in Florida because I live in a jungle state. Anyways, I'm getting out of here, guys. I want to thank every single one of you for supporting me. I want to thank every single one of you for telling people about the show, helping my content grow. If you want to help me out, if you'd like to donate, you can easily go to my PayPal account, paypal.me/Tuddle on the radio. That's paypal.me/Tuddle on the radio. Even if it's $1, I write back every single person. I got a great show lined up tomorrow. Pretty much already have it recorded. Me and Ciroc, Mocha Prince from the Bubble Love Sponge Show, host of the weekly review podcast. Just search Ciroc, Serak. The show should be up early tomorrow because I've already gotten 58 minutes of it done. I just need to do the closing segment. Matter of fact, if I'm up late, I might upload that shit at midnight so it's ready for your drive to work tomorrow morning. Want to thank all of you guys. I love you. Hope you guys are being safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow.